Hey, I just had to show the craziness that's happening in this game. I did this for my live stream. This setting of starting off where they put you in the tutorial in this little chunk of Spain right here with the caliphate, one of the caliphates that are in the game at this point in time down here, and of course, like this is the leader of the caliphate. I'm trying to kill him just because I'm angry at him. He keeps on holy warring me, and like, but that just keeps on happening. And also, uh, yeah, he just makes my life like living hell. But anyways, you look at how many troops he has. That is insane. So I've been kind of waiting until it looks like he's really stretched thin and that there's rebellions going on, and because I have a claim on this area right here. I was able to win this one, mainly because I was clever and married off one of my children to the leader of the Byzantine Empire, and also somebody to the Holy Roman Empire. So another child. So they gave me enough, and I was able to take this, and they were spread too thin where I was able to take it, and then I managed to make the religion Catholic. So by putting my court chaplain there for a small period of time. So so basically make them less likely. It'd be harder for them to retake it back into the caliphate down here. So, but anyways, like I said, going back, he has a lot of people. He's in hiding because he knows that I want to kill him. But yeah. So, anyways, this game went really into this really weird direction. Um, I kind of wanted to give it away too much, but anyways, so I had a hard time having sons in the first few generations, so I was able to fix the laws so females can inherit. So I thought that was pretty cool. But then I was fiddling with factions with one of them, and I had her join Lucifer's Own. And the only thing is I used her powers too freely, and she ended up being executed. But she had one heir, and this was the one heir. Queen Ermergardis, as I've been calling her, because that's what it looks like. It looks like an Goosebumps girl. So she basically inherited the throne at 0, and she fended off, like her regent was managed to fend off about like 8 simultaneous holy wars from when it was all kind of more divided down here. Now it's more united, and that kind of got some factions down a little bit. So I was like, I'm going to see how far I can get her. I'm not going to have her join Lucifer's Own or anything like that. But, so, I was doing pretty good. I had this dude who he was German, and he was like a bastard child. So it was the only person I could get to marry matrimonially to her at the time. And, so while I was married to him, oh yeah, and by the way, since for some reason she had a really high intrigue, so and she got lustful when she matured, when she became 16. So I was like, why don't I just make her a seductor? So I had her, and then I thought there was a achievement you can get called the Casanova, in which is you seduce 10 different people. So I was trying to do that, and then she ended up having a lot of kids. Now, it got even weirder. So, see this right here, Immortal? Immortal is it was something, I think it's new in Monks and Mystics. There was an event that popped up that has been popping up for my rulers when they get to a certain age. And basically they want to find that you can quest for immortality to cheat death or whatever. And you go on some quests, and it's kind of like your choose your own adventure sort of thing. And I hadn't won any of them. Like, I kept on dying before that I got to that point. So, but this time I managed to get immortal. And so as you can see, she's 83, and I mean, it's kind of hard, but she still looks like she's still pretty young. And because she's a seductor, and I've been basically, mainly because it kind of sucks being a female ruler because no one takes you seriously, that I've been seducing people who have been feeling that way, so they get to 100% and they leave me alone. And which is probably a bad idea, because as you can see, these are all her children that she's had. her oldest ones are pretty much dead. And it's kind of gone crazy. She's gone through a couple husbands, but she's immortal. And to my understanding, it says the character is not invincible though. Physical injury will still hurt them. So when if she goes into battle, but she can still go out into the battle that's the only place where she can really die right now. Which I haven't been doing any of that at the moment, mainly because I want to expand southward, because I have allegiances over here that I don't really want to disturb at the moment. But like I said, it makes it really hard when I have 6,000 troops, and the people down here have 11,000. And even when I ally with them and they send me troops, it takes them forever, and they sometimes get distracted, and sometimes they fight each other because they're dumb. So I don't know. But anyways, I actually have a really sprawling kingdom. There is no contingency. So, so anyways, I married him. He died in the smallpox epidemic. That's why his face is all fucking weird. And then I had this guy. This guy was, he basically inherited Essex when because he's a bastard child. So, let me go back to him. He was a bastard child, as you can see. And his brother had died. Wow, he has a lot of siblings too. Probably because of a seductor-focused parent. But anyways, so he had ended up inheriting Essex, and one by one, he ended up inheriting all this. So this whole area belonged to him, what he had ended up inheriting. But now it's in control of our eldest son. Of course, I'm not sure if it was his son. It was probably one of the lovers. See, that's kind of interesting because I'm playing with Chief Kola in the in Ireland, and it's so interesting when you kind of do see I guess male versus female privilege, because he has so many children. I think I counted, it was about 20. It was about as much as she had when she was living in a normal lifespan. And he didn't acknowledge it. I think one of them he was forced to acknowledge, the rest of them he didn't. Well, she has to have tons and tons of kids. It basically belongs to her, so it's harder to be a female seductress in that way. But, so anyways, going back to him, what I find really interesting is that because she ended up getting the Master Seductress, it pretty much, everyone likes her. It's really hard not to like her. And also some of the other qualities she picked up along the way. He was the only one that didn't, was not fallen to his whims because he is homosexual. It's kind of interesting how this game kind of does that. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting thing they add into the game, but at the same time, I'm just kind of well, okay. It's just okay, there's bisexuals, and I don't know. It just kind of, I guess they're kind of doing it within the term in the time frame. But like I said, I find it really hilarious that he did not like her, even though she's probably the best beard ever, because she kept on having kids, and it looked like he was a manly stud because of all the kids she was having. He did have a lover. Let's see. Well, the lover's gone now, but because he's dead probably. But it was her rival, which was really weird. I'm pretty sure. I mean, it says both of them hate each other mutually, but I'm pretty sure it was more I don't know. He felt somehow she was gonna take him away. That they were having lots and lots of sex because she had tons and tons of kids. Even though that probably, I think maybe only 3 of her kids during this time period were actually his. Yeah, so he ended up dying of camp fever or typhus. And then for a while I was okay, well, I ended up marrying this dude. Mainly because I was just like, why? It was also once again trying to get people to marry matrilineally. Um, he ended up taking Leon from me, but that's only because I was like, I don't really want him to hate me. So, and besides, he'll probably go back to me anyway because of the kids. So, as you can see, these are how many kids they had together since she was married to him. And actually, and I think another reason is because he had strong. And strong once again is an inherited trait because it's in the little heart. So I took that. And I also had to give away, I had a bunch of more land, but I gave it away to keep my sons happy. As you can see, I have an unlanded son that might get pissed off soon, or it's probably, I think I'm probably losing prestige from it. Yep, I'm losing some prestige, but I have tons of prestige. I'm not too worried about it. But anyways, ended up joining Lucifer's Own, partly, actually probably most of it was because she came down with cancer. And, but she can't die because of Immortal. So I was tired of kind of like, the alert coming up saying you get treatment. I get request treatment or whatever, and sometimes it was good treatment, sometimes it was bad treatment. And, so I just wanted to get away with the negative cancer thing because when you get really high in society, you can get dark healing, which takes away. You can heal yourself, takes away those sicknesses and stuff like that. So she is now the High Priestess. However, it's kind of funny because at one point she gave birth to a daughter, and they said the daughter acts really weird. And I was just like, okay. This was actually, I think, before she became a Satanist. And so I took her to the chapel, and the chaplain's like, oh, she's fine, or whatever. But then all of a sudden, most of these skulls was her. She basically was giving her brothers and sisters nightmares, and they died in their sleep because she was some sort of weird Freddy Krueger. So I was like, oh man, I gotta get rid of her. And then I realized what was happening as soon as I was inducted into Lucifer's Own, and I was like, oh, okay, so apparently she's a demon child. So I couldn't wait to get rid of her, and I married her off to this dude over here. Oh wow, he's went through a lot of... Yep, this is the daughter right here. Yep, she was burned at the stake by the order of King Ninan of Pickland. So she died because they realized who she was, but these were her children, basically. Like, she had these beautiful redheaded children. But when she aged up, she got genius, she got strong, she got ugly. I think came from something else. And then she got the possessed trait, as usual. But I was just like, whoa. And I was so glad when she was gone from my kingdom. I was like, she can give other people nightmares. I mean, yeah, it kind of helped me clean house because I had way too many kids. But, so that was kind of, interesting. But here's the crazy thing. Look at my council. All of them like me. And most of it is because of the seductress stuff, the fact that she has a long reign, and she has the court vixen from being seduction and stuff like that. But even people with the female ruler, I still have a negative. It's still a plus 100. So, oh yeah, no murderer. I actually killed the previous caliph. I just the new one came up. And I was like, I'll work on that later. But it basically revealed. It was through my intrigue. Right now I'm just trying. It's not at 100% yet. So I'm waiting for that. So I don't know why she hates him. People really hate this dude. He looks like he's 5. He's 49, but before he was really super young looking. And since she's 80 and I try to seduce him, they're like, well, the age difference is going to cause quite a scandal. And I was just like, yeah, whatever. I was like, but he's such a sweet little morsel. And I was like, yes, he is a very sweet little morsel. I don't know, something about this portrait is just adorable. So, oh yeah, because I'm still in Lucifer Zone, and they sometimes will give you missions to do. The last mission I did was I had to do a dark impregnation because the other, like, Antichrist child was killed, burned at the stake. So I couldn't find anybody else, and I was like, I really don't want. I kind of want to see how long this will last. I want to see how old I can get her before she finally dies. And how many kids she could get. It's become like, I know it's probably going to really backfire after she leaves, and it's already starting to backfire because, like I said, unlanded sons up here. But I just kind of want, now I'm just kind of in it just to see how far it will go. And I have a couple. Ooh, I can form an alliance with him. King of France. And form an alliance with the King of Italy. Duke of Bavaria. I kind of leave him alone. I feel bad. I kind of want to know the. It's kind of would be an interesting little story. It's like, oh wow, my new wife that came from some far off place that I'm not familiar with is acting really strange. Oh, turns out that she was actually, you know, a demon child, and I'm so glad that she's pretty normal. uh, Oh yeah, by the way, the cannibal thing came from one of the rituals. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Um yeah, so anyways, I just wanted to show how crazy this story this really is, like this whole thing. I mean, I almost like another horror story too is like that you come out of this whole thing is that like these kids when they realized that they were dropping one by one because one of them was like acting odd or they thought one of them was acting odd or whatever. um that'd be an interesting horror story to write at one point. um but anyways, that's all I just wanted to share.